Hello YouTube, it's another episode of the How To Guy, and today I'm looking at the Osmo Pocket. I'm doing something a little different today. I wanted to show you my conceptual design of the Osmo Pocket 2. If the Osmo Pocket 2 ever comes out, I think they should use my design. I'm going to go through 8 different things today that I think the Osmo Pocket 2 needs to be a successful product. Number 1 on my list is built-in Wi-Fi. No need to buy this little adapter anymore. And by the way, DJI, if you steal my design today, I want 5% of all worldwide sales.
That might be a little high.
Okay, 4% of worldwide sales. I think that's fair. That's like, what, $100 billion?
Oh, yes.
Sounds like something you could retire on, I think. Everyone knows how useful the Wi-Fi adapter is. You can place this almost anywhere. You can connect to it via your phone. You can do some really cool shots walking around, using object tracking, face tracking, and you can make some cinematic kind of shots and movies with that. If they had that built into the Osmo Pocket 2, it would just be awesome. It would avoid having to buy this little device, which is really expensive. I think this little product should have had Wi-Fi to start with. Number 2 on my list is a built-in external microphone jack. On my design, I've got it positioned just at the back here. I think it should be ergonomic enough. So the problem with this is once you have the Osmo Pocket and you want to use an external microphone, you need to buy this little adapter, the DJI external microphone adapter. And so after you've actually plugged everything in and you've got your external microphone adapter over here and you've got your RODE Wireless GO mounted to a Coldshoe on the side, which is also external, link in the description for all these things. But this is a little Coldshoe adapter, PGYTech, and you can actually see that this gets kind of cumbersome. We could eliminate this piece, so that's one of the things that I hope the DJI Osmo Pocket 2 will come out with. Number 3 on my wish list is actually that this little camera, which has a 1/2.3 inch sensor, has a 1 inch sensor. What's the difference between that? If you have a 1 inch sensor, you can let more light into the camera. You can also do better quality photos. Low light shooting of video and photos will be better if you have a 1 inch sensor. And I think DJI are going to have to do this because the Insta360 1R, which has just come out, has come out with a 1 inch sensor. So I think DJI are probably scrambling right now to try and figure out how they're going to get a 1 inch sensor on the Osmo Pocket, because they just have to do it. Now remember, DJI already kind of have this technology. They're using Hasselblad. They developed this in collaboration with Hasselblad. I think the 1 inch sensor on their drone, the Mavic 2 Pro, is a 20 megapixel camera, which would be freaking awesome. Imagine having 20 megapixels of power in the Osmo Pocket. Imagine if you can actually adjust your aperture slightly on your Osmo Pocket. You get better blurry backgrounds. It'll be pretty cool. But let's just say, for argument's sake, they put on the Mavic 2 Pro zooms camera onto the new future Osmo Pocket 2. Wouldn't that be awesome? You could zoom in I think it's 24 to 48 millimeters, that camera. I wonder if this is what DJI are planning. What do you guys think? I believe the zoom camera has the same sensor, the 1/2.3 inch, so you never know what's going to happen. Maybe in the next 6 months we'll see something from DJI, a couple announcements saying they're going to release something. Maybe it'll just be like a pro version, but I'll be looking forward to getting that camera. What do you guys think? I think this is item 4 on the list at the moment, but imagine if you had built-in image software stabilization as well as a gimbal, sort of similar to what we have on the Osmo Action. Now, I think if they did this with separate levels, like a low, a mid, and a high level, where you could sort of crop in slightly and there was a little bit of software, rock steady type stabilization, imagine how smooth your walking shots. It would probably eliminate all that horizontal y-axis bounce you have with the Osmo Pocket, where you have to walk like you're holding a hot cup of coffee to get everything nice and smooth. Imagine if there was a little bit of software stabilization built into the Osmo Pocket. That would be worth buying alone. And I mean, if they've done it on the Osmo Action, DJI definitely have the tools to do this. It's just about how big does this thing get. In my opinion, they got to make it slightly longer. I'm sure a lot of you guys out there would love to have a built-in joystick. I'm picturing it around here, just in the middle of the camera. No need to buy this little control wheel anymore. You'll just have a little it has to be strong, DJI. If you're listening, it has to be strong. We don't want like a little broken, dodgy joystick that's just going to break every 20 minutes, okay? You want something sturdy that's actually going to pan your DJI around nicely, which is going to allow you to get nice, even panning shots when you're walking around without buying this. This costs like 30 bucks if I remember. It probably cost them like $1 to make this thing, but they sell it for 30. That's capitalism, right? Is the ability to mount your tripod on the bottom. Now, in order to do this, we have to move these ports. Don't need to buy this silly thing anymore to put around your Osmo Pocket. So, I mean, you could probably still use something like this if you wanted it to be more secure, because if you're mounting something at the bottom of your Osmo Pocket, it becomes a little dicey. But let's say you just wanted to film and you wanted to stick this somewhere and put it on a tripod and do some face tracking or shoot some kind of landscape scene, then the ideal place to put a tripod mount would be at the bottom. You just have to move this port, the USB-C port. My design takes that into account and puts it on the back of the Osmo Pocket. I think the only flaw with my design is that the Osmo Pocket is not actually long enough to incorporate everything I have. It has to be slightly longer, maybe 1.5 inches bigger, and all the ports, including the micro USB port on this side, would have to be moved to the back area. Last but not least, to this really important design of the Osmo Pocket 2 is the ability to remove a battery. So have a replaceable battery, have a little latch on the side that you just pull open, just like the GoPros, just like the Osmo Action did. I mean, they did it with the Osmo Action, why can't they do it with the Osmo Pocket? This battery dies after I think like 500 or 600 uses, so mine's still going, but you just never know. Next time you turn it on, you just never know. You sort of pray and say, is it going to turn on? Maybe, maybe not. And when it's done, you bury it in the garden. I'm sure DJI are probably watching this video and they're thinking, hey, this guy's actually onto something. Hey, get me my pen and pad. I'm going to sketch this design out. Remember, DJI, 4% of all the profits on the Osmo Pocket will go to me. You're welcome. If you guys have any ideas about things that I might have missed in this video, let me know in the comments. What do you think of my design? Is it good? Is it... I do think the Osmo Pocket needs to be made a little bit bigger. Size is not an issue. This thing's always going to be light. As long as the camera stays the same size, it's not a problem. I don't think people, but I speak for myself, I don't think people would actually mind if the Osmo Pocket was a little bit longer and maybe had a little bulge at the back to fit in all these different ports that you have. But I'm no product designer. What do you guys think? Hopefully you enjoyed this video and see you again next time.